Hi, we're going to take a look at a little bit about tickets in action here. So you can see on this browser, I've got open in Safari the iDROP web application running against a local iRODS I have also on this laptop. And we're in Browse View here. So we're going to pick a, let's pick a directory. Okay. So now we've navigated into a directory that has several files, and what we want to do is create a ticket on one of these files, and then we can turn around and try to access that ticket from a different browser. So to create tickets, we need to be in Info view, so I'm going to click Info here, and we'll pick a file here. It's a PDF, and let's take a look at the Tickets tab, which you can find in the Info view. So currently there are no tickets associated with this file. And so let's create one. So we just select Create. This brings up the ticket editing panel, and this kind of shows you some of the different aspects of tickets that you can control. So first we have a key for the ticket, and this I can leave blank and a ticket string will be generated for me, or I could assign my own ticket keys, and they're just max 16 character arbitrary strings that you can use. You can have read and write tickets, and typically tickets are for read. I have to be an owner on the file that I'm creating a ticket for. You can see here some of the limitations that we can set. So for example, if we wanted to just have the ticket be available for 24 hours, we could have the ticket expire on the 19th. And then you can do things like uses limit, and if it's a write ticket, you can do things on limiting the number of files that can be written using the ticket, or limiting the number of bytes that can be used. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Update here. Okay, so now I have a ticket, and you can see the ticket is reflected in this URL that we're displaying. And so you can see if you inspect the URL that it is calling a ticket access controller and a redeem ticket action, and then the parameters I'm giving are the ticket string, as you can see here, and then it's a data object, and here's the type of ticket is read, and the iRODS URI is the actual sort of zone and logical file name that I'm going to be accessing. Some of this data is not really needed for ticket processing, but since the ticket implementation in iRODS limits the access to the catalog, we wanted to have this URL carry some information about what the ticket is about, and that's more for redisplay for the user. In any case, I can copy this link, and then I'll go over to a different browser here. So this is Chrome versus Safari, and I'll just paste that ticket string in the browser window, and as you can see here, I've now downloaded that PDF file. And since I'm in another browser, it's important to note that I went into iDROP Web with anonymous access. And so that's an example of a read ticket, and here I was going to pull up the PDF that I downloaded. And so while that's thinking, there it is. Okay, so here's the file that I accessed via ticket. Okay, pretty straightforward. And now, there's also an option for a landing page here. So if I select Show Landing Page, what's happening is it's actually just altering this URL. So now there's this landing page equals true parameter that's been added to the URL. So I'm going to copy that link, and we'll do the same thing. We'll paste this back over here in Chrome. And so now instead of directly downloading the file, in this case, it'll just generate a simple landing page. And you can see this is something that perhaps could be mailed to somebody, for example, and it gives an explanation for what this URL represents. Here's the ticket key, it's a read type, and you can see here the actual iRODS file that's going to be retrieved via the ticket. And so again, here I could select download, and then the same thing happens. It will download that file as usual. So, so that's tickets as implemented in iDROP Web.